If you are squeamish, this is your chance to look away. Trigger warning. This is an endoscopic removal of a parasite from a woman's gut. It's not a snake, but a tapeworm, and you can get those from undercooked fish or meat. It's mostly asymptomatic but can sometimes cause symptoms. There is actually a report of a man from India that had a 6-foot-long tapeworm taken out the same way. Another reason to cook your food properly.
The creepy thing about this isn't the clip that we just seen, but the possibility that you and me could actually have something like this in our bodies right now, and it's currently crawling under our skin. Welcome back everyone to the Weird, Strange and Creepy, and let's dive in.
This is why you need to be careful when the type of music you're listening to every day.
I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening.
What do you mean by that, Shane, prayed over demonically?
So rituals, ceremonies, it's a satanic music industry. That's majority of what it is.
Do you mean figuratively, or do you mean literally you've been in...
Literally, yes.
And
not figuratively.
Can you share what those albums were? Were they your albums?
No, they weren't our albums, no. They were not Boyzone albums. So that's what I mean by not every music is that. But it was on the stepping stone to that. So you're going back to the 1993s into 2000s. And then if you look at what the music is today, the industry is today, for all your Sam Smiths to your Dojo Cats to your Beyoncés they are so demonic, it's unbelievable. And we can't, it's in front of us. It's something that we kind of go, oh, it's just music. But it really isn't.
Music was used to bring down the walls of Jericho in ancient times, and in the Middle Ages, Middle Easterns used the shawm to unnerve their enemies during the Crusades. So the satanic music industry understands just how powerful music is to enemies.
For like the last couple of years, people have been trying to tell other people all these high prices are complete bullshit. Inflation, right? Food away from home is fast food. Well, if that's the case, how come McDonald's is way up there and Burger King is way down here? And for some reason around 2020 it dipped down. COVID, right? Obviously I'm not stupid. After COVID, they kept their prices up. Kept saying, oh, it's 'cause inflation. But for some reason their net profits literally skyrocket. Once again, actual inflation. McDonald's way the fuck up here, along with Popeyes, Taco Bell. I mean, Subway's way down here. I just paid, what, $12 for a fucking meatball sub yesterday? Just imagine. I mean, McDonald's is way up here. As you can see, once again, inflation versus food at home. I mean, they could still pay him $20 million a year. Right? Sometimes I wonder about the pandemic. What's like an excuse to raise prices and then keep them up and say, oh, it's 'cause inflation, 'cause of COVID. I'm sure there's some places where they had to compensate, but here we are in 2025 and we're still paying COVID prices practically. I'm so fucking tired of it. These companies need to learn a lesson, so stop going to fast food and send a message, because they're already listening. They've been all over the news saying, we hear you. No, you don't, motherfucker. These companies need to be taught a lesson by the public. We send messages. We put these companies in check. We're the consumer. We have all the control here. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on when it comes to prices like this. We all have to pay the same thing.
I can understand Mickey D's being popular because people think it's cheap and fast. Like Big Mac and fries back in the day would have been about £3.50, and who knows how much it is now. From what I see, it's no longer cheap and it's no longer fast. And I'm guessing for the same price these days of a Big Mac and fries, you could probably go to a proper restaurant and get quality food.
Yeah, and people say this is regular snow. Yeah, that's fire. I'm throwing freaking snowballs at it. Wow.
Snow can carry and trap substances that is in our atmosphere, so maybe this is how the snow goes setting fire. Let me know what your thoughts are. I see this time and time again where houses, cars or areas are burnt to a crisp, yet there's Bibles that are always untouched. For people who don't believe in God, what would your sort of reason be behind that, and why do you think this is?
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job, machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen. And if my assessment is correct and they probably will happen, then we need to say, what are we going to do about it? And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary. Now, the output of goods and services will be extremely high. So with automation, there will come abundance. There will be almost everything will get very cheap. I think I think we'll just end up doing a universal basic income. It's going to be necessary. The harder challenge, much harder challenge, is how do people then have meaning? Like a lot of people, they derive their meaning from their employment. So if you don't have, if you're not needed, if there's not a need for your labor, what's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless? That's a much harder problem to deal with.
All right, guys, we already know about Bill Gates and his agenda. I mean, I can say his agenda has been exposed. A lot of people are aware of what he stands for. But this is one person that I'm yet to understand what he is really up to. You know, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what he is trying to do. So if some of you already understand what he's trying to do, please drop it down there in the comment section so that some of us who are still behind on what Elon is really trying to do will follow. Thank you all for watching.
So Elon's all for UBI, and if he's all for UBI, then I would say he's all for the social credit system as well. Knowing that he's going to be part of your US government pretty soon, does this give you confidence?
Bone apple teeth.
What kind of ground beef doesn't ground?
Just left Subway to get my sandwich.
That ain't no worm.
That is a worm. What the hell that is?
My fucking God, I'm gonna get sick. Look at how much of this I ate. Look at how much of this I ate. It's...
Bruh, what's this motherfucking thing? The Saturn burger?
Oh my God. That's nasty.
Yeah. July 26th, 2026. I just opened that can and look at this. Disgusting.
I could be wrong, but I was under the impression that ice cream would melt after sitting out all night. Now it looks like somebody's shit in my sink.
On a serious note though, but has anyone else been noticing just how bad the quality of our food has been getting lately? When I opened a bag of cashew nuts the other day and it was burnt to a crisp. I also opened a brand new carton of milk that was in date by a few days, and when I opened it, it was absolutely humming high.
Control of the planet for 12,000 years.
It has been the dominating force. Evil's not the right word, it is imbalance. But it has been increasingly in control every day.
Was it a great shock for you to discover this at 38?
Well, I think the word is gobsmacked. But again, you know, the best way of removing negativity is to laugh and be joyous. So I'm delighted that there's so much laughter in the audience tonight.
But no,
But just let me say this.
They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
That interview at the time, it changed everything for you, didn't it?
Well, it changed everything in the sense of I couldn't walk down any street in Britain without being laughed at by most of the people. We laugh at sheep because sheep just follow the one in front. Ah, stupid sheep. We humans have out-sheeped the sheep because at least the sheep need a sheepdog to keep them in line. Humans keep each other in line. And they do it by ridiculing or condemning anyone who commits the crime, because that's what it's become, of being different.
See, he's always got a sort of point there. I mean, it's true, we do ridicule people.
I remember that after you'd interviewed him at some point, way back on This Morning we did, and I felt very uneasy about interviewing him because I kind of felt that maybe there was, maybe someone could accuse you of taking advantage of somebody who was clearly not quite as stable as a lot of people. Did you feel that?
Perhaps, as you say, a little harsh on a person who was vulnerable. Tonight, you'll find that he has taken on an entirely different stance. He's aggressive. He's like a fundamentalist Midwestern preacher.
Really?
And he finds a huge audience in the States because, you know, as I've often said, people who don't know what to believe will believe in anything. And the conspiracy theorists, of course, the people who believe in crop circles, who believe in the Bermuda Triangle, flying saucers, all the kind. People who perhaps are not happy, who feel frustrated, who feel that life has given them a rough deal, they want to believe that, you know, there's some other power is manipulating.
If a man is passionate about something he believes in to the point where he knows he'll be ridiculed and laughed at by many, then there's a good chance that it's a man with knowledge and heart who very few understand.
He was giving a lecture to his class when this happens. A college professor from Argentina was preparing to give his new class a lecture. But while he was recording a video, he noticed something strange happening in the background.
Hola, ¿cómo les va? Hoy vamos a hablar de niveles de conocimiento. ¿Bien? Hay 4 niveles de conocimiento. El primer nivel es la ignorancia, el segundo nivel es la estupidez, el tercer nivel es la inteligencia y el cuarto nivel es la sabiduría. ¿En qué se diferencia cada uno de estos 4 niveles? Vamos a charlar ahora para después cada uno de nosotros ver en qué nivel estamos. ¿Bien? Bien. El primer nivel es el nivel de la ignorancia. En este nivel, la persona no tiene los recursos necesarios para lidiar con el desafío que se le propone.
As he's recording, his reflection in the background turns around and stares into the camera, as if it has a mind of its own. The professor explains he doesn't believe in the paranormal, but he has no way of explaining what he just captured on video. Tell me what you think.
I think even his reflection couldn't get over how deceiving and disingenuous he was being here with his editing. However, having said that, I do believe that mirrors can act as portals, but that's just me.
One last word, which is, I hope this is my last time at this podium, at least for a little while. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean, the only thing that would bring me back is an unexpected event in the next few days, which, as you all know, is totally possible given everything you've seen over the course of the past years. But if it is, in fact, my last time before you, I just want to say thank you for what you guys do every day. Thank you for putting up with me. It's been an honor to be able to really try to illuminate these issues through tough probing and penetrating questioning. And can't say I've always enjoyed every moment up here, but I certainly have been privileged to be able to do it. So thank you guys very much.
Tough probing and penetrating questioning. I mean, what do you think this is, good sir? An LGBTQ curiosity club?
What's your small town drama right now? I'll go first. We just found out that one of our local restaurant owners has been unaliving animals and using their bodies to stuff the grinded up remains of their victims and just been sewing them up and leaving them along our only highway. That way cars could run them over and we'd just think that they were roadkill. But I guess they didn't think that at some point we would get suspicious about the influx of roadkill, and upon examining these animals a lot closer, found that they had been like sewn up. So obviously our local police department investigated this and found that, oh, these animals aren't just animal bodies. These animals have human remains in them. And yeah, it's caused quite a stir. Anyway, this is him, Thomas Sullivan. And I think he's going away for a long time. So far it's estimated that it was 6 men and 3 women And that's just absolutely crazy.
That man does not look like someone who ground you up.
Not heard about the 28 girls that were hospitalized after using a Ouija board?
A seemingly innocent game quickly turns into a chilling encounter. This is the Ouija board in Kingsbridge. It all starts when a group of friends in the Bronx decides to experiment with a Ouija board. What seemed like harmless fun takes a dark turn when the board connects them with a spirit named Frank. At first, the group jokes around, but Frank's responses become unsettling. One user comments that using a Ouija board is like sending a group text to any spirit in the area, and it appears Frank was eager to respond. The story only deepens when Frank begins revealing personal information and even hints at unresolved messages. The comment section is flooded with warnings, with many sharing their own eerie Ouija board experiences. One commenter recounts a student who became unrecognizable after using the board, while another reveals that a spirit they contacted followed them home. The creator hints there's even more to the story, leaving viewers on edge. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, one thing is certain. This is a cautionary tale about playing with things that invite the unknown.
I don't know why you'd want to use an Ouija board, to be honest, but having said that, is using ChatGPT similar to using an Ouija board?
The following home security footage is from a woman named Nikita Reagan. On January 5th, 2025, her home security camera picks up something abnormal, something weird in her front camera. What appears to be like a fire, ghost, portal opening, something coming out. But the weird thing about all of this is there was nothing there when she went to go check. It's just caught on the footage. But the question remains, what is this? What are we looking at? Take a look at this and tell me what you see.
What's your thoughts on this? I mean, the only logical explanation I could think of is that it's just a burning plastic bag that just so happened to land in front of a camera, but it could be miles off.
Wouldn't it be crazy that the same organizations that told you the Earth is a spinning ball uses the flat Earth map as their logo? Wouldn't it be crazy that on the day of the devastating fire in Maui, no alarms were sounded to warn the people? Wouldn't it be crazy that on the day of the devastating fire, local firefighters reported that nearly all of the fire hydrants had no water in them? Wouldn't it be crazy if local police officers directed people down to Front Street only to leave them stranded and trapped amongst the blaze? Wouldn't it be crazy if the fire was so hot that it melted metal? And wouldn't it be crazy if the average forest fire temperature is not hot enough to do that? Wouldn't it be crazy if blue cars and blue homes were unaffected by the fire for some reason? Wouldn't it be crazy if the mayor of Maui declined to answer questions about the 2,000 children who were allegedly missing after the fire? Wouldn't it be crazy if they put a massive wall around the city after the fire so that no one could see what's going on with the rebuilding process? Wouldn't it be crazy if the chief of police of Maui was the same man who was in charge of the investigation of the Las Vegas shooting in 2017? Wouldn't it be crazy if a Build Back Better conference had been hosted in Maui just a few months prior to the massive fire? And isn't it crazy that to this day the media has not really looked into any of these things or taken any of them seriously? Yeah, that would be crazy. And remember, this is only for entertainment purposes.
It wouldn't be crazy. It would be typical in business as usual for those involved.
As a 3-time United States Digital City Award winner, the City of Los Angeles has been investing in the infrastructure, the apps, and the data tools to be a globally recognized smart city. But as technology evolves, so our smart city must evolve too. That's why we have developed our Los Angeles Smart City Strategy, known as Smart LA 2028, as a roadmap to the 2028 Summer Olympics. It includes 56 new goals that use technology to transform the way we live, work, and move around LA. Check it out here. Thank you.
Here, please. Hey, Alexa, do a slow fart.
I'm sorry, I can't.
That's all I have for you today, everyone, but thank you for making it this far. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. I'll be back same time tomorrow, but until then, stay strong and stay safe, and I'll see you then.